right, let's do an episode or whatever it is we do on this show.
They don't deserve us to talk about them after they canceled Prodigy.
They really don't. They should be ashamed of themselves. Welcome. It's yet another Star to Steer Her By, your favorite Star Trek podcast.
Woo!
Definitely.
Boo.
We're here doing more of the Voyager, and we're voyaging all the way home. Because we're on episode 312 of our damn podcast. It's quite a lot, and we're almost near the end of the Voyager. Because today's episodes, we got a 3-fer this week, so holy shit.
Ooh.
We're going to get through these somehow. We are covering The Void and Workforce, Part 1 and 2. Both of them. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of force.
What about part 3?
Okay. I know it's your week, but may I provide the summary for The Void?
No, because I've already written it up.
Oh.
So fuck you. Is it just the time trap?
Yes! The time trap plus night!
Oh, man. There goes one of my jokes I've already written up. But anyway, this is your efficiency coordinator, Ames.
I don't know what my job is. I'm just Caitlin.
We'll find you a job. There's a worker strike, so we need
a labor shortage.
Labor shortage. That's the one.
All right. I'm Tom Paris working at the bar.
So you're waxing on and waxing off over there.
I'm polishing off the bar.
I'm your emergency B-plot hologram, Chris.
Hi, I'm James. I'm also here.
Yay! James' first day on the job.
And I love being here. I absolutely want to be here. That's why I am here. I escaped bad podcasting planet and came here to work for good podcasting planet.
I like that you almost didn't get through that.
I almost did. I ran out of breath.
I thought you were just trying not to laugh, calling us good podcasting planet.
No!
But before we get to good podcasting planet, first we're going to talk about the Void. So in the Void, we're tooling around in the Delta Quadrant, as we tend to do quite a lot these days. When suddenly, oh no, we get sucked into a void.
Aye.
You know, like in the time trap, like you do, and it's full of
Not just like sucked in, but like hip checked in. It seemed. No,
I don't remember.
All right, go
yeah,
ahead.
Suddenly they were there, and I was like, "Oh, we're here now." Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Ames. I'm sorry.
And it's full of pirates, like Valen.
Yar.
And they love to steal from newly stuck ships so they can survive, because there's no fucking stuff here in this void. So, obviously, because the Voyager's new here, everyone steals from the Voyager. So we're basically out of supplies now. God damn it. We gotta get out of here.
It's first day of high school all over again.
Oh god, you got wedgies and stuff in your locker, and Voyager's trying to get out of the locker, so they try to escape the void, and they fail fucking utterly, and B'Elanna's in engineering saying, the warp core shit itself, oh god!
Oh boy, it's gonna be one of these nights.
Oh, Chris gets a mental image, and the rest of us get to watch.
I mean, the worst part, I didn't. It's just there's something about the warp core shit itself that just... Oh, if I could have profanity in titles, that would be the title.
Dang it!
You can keep your sheer fucking hubris and give us the warp core shitting itself,
You can.
Captain.
So Janeway decides, okay, well, I guess while we're stuck here, before we try again, let's get our stuff back. And we track down our stuff to this derelict ship, and none of our stuff is there. But all we get out of it is a new puppy! His name is Phantome, and he's the cutest little vermin you ever did see, and I love him.
Whoosh.
But that prick Valen is gone, and he's gotten all of our stuff somehow. We're gonna go get some of it back, and we get like half of the stuff back, and Janeway says, success! And we're like, success? Success is getting half our stuff back? We're gonna run out of stuff, Janeway. And Chakotay and Tuvok come in Janeway's quarters, ready room, somewhere. And they're like, hey, Janeway, we're gonna run out of supplies again, and it looks like piracy's the only way to survive here. And I got this eye patch and this parrot on my shoulder. Can we be pirates, please? And Janeway says, fucking no! We are not going to do the pirate thing. We are Federation through and through. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start a little alliance. Like in that TAS episode, The Time Trap. Holy crap. It'll be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Time trap. Holy crap.
So Janeway's out trying to find pledges for her little fraternity thing. When a ship of those turd aliens from the hierarchy The ones that look like
I like
they
them.
look like turds, and I hate them.
No, they're just a little rounded.
And
They
the
look
whole-
like potatoes.
Yeah.
No, they
More
are
potatoes.
a freshly squeezed turd.
Okay, let's
I'm using
compromise.
turds.
Yeah, I don't want.
Let's compromise Paturdos.
Paturdos, I'm okay with.
Ooh.
Robert Paterno?
God. So I'm like, let these fuckers die. I hate them so much. But then, Janeway says, "Oh, alliance to the rescue!" And our alliance forms, and it's a thing of beauty. And Janeway's so happy, and it's all sunshine and rainbows until one of our latest recruits, Basal, he turns out to still want to do pirate shit. And Janeway says, "That's a big no-no in the Janeway No Pirates Club. You're out of the group, guy. And you didn't like Phantome when you first met him. So you're doubly out of the group. Fuck you." So now Basal is trying to team up with Valen, that dick. And they want to steal our stuff back again. So we've got to try escaping again. And we do! With our help from Phantome and friends, because they're such little darlings. And they save the day a little bit. So we escape with our new actual allies and leave these fuckers in the void. Yo-ho, the end.
They're all gonna die. Deservedly so.
Yeah,
Some of
that'd
them have been kicking around for a long time.
Yo ho, yo
A
ho,
lot of
pirate
ships
death for you.
must go missing.
Yep.
In here.
Well, they said what? There was like 200, 500?
So there's
Some large number of ships that didn't have life
yeah, there was 150 ships total in the void, and 29 of those ships were populated.
Yeah.
Because, I've lost his name already. Valen. Because Valen took all their stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
but at the same so. I like this episode, but there's a lot of stuff in it that it just kind of was surprisingly inconsistent. So people have been around. There's only 150 ships. Some people have been around for 5 years or whatever. But the deuterium for the warp core was going to be gone in 10 days because they were like, oh, our deuterium, we're using it so fast.
They said because of this void anomaly, they were going
Yeah.
through it faster because of some
Right. So
gibberish.
isn't deuterium how your engines run?
I thought that was dilithium.
Well, I know dilithium.
I think deuterium-
Deuterium is the fuel.
fuel.
Is another thing.
Yeah, the dilithium just somehow controls the
Windshield
reaction.
microfluid.
Right.
Well, when you're out of that, lickety split.
So I guess I just don't there should be way more than 150 ships to sustain any kind of population
Well, I also
of living people in this space.
Cannibalism has been happening.
Yeah, I also think that they're able to reduce the deuterium drain at some point
Yeah.
to stretch it.
Yeah, it just seems weird that I don't know. I guess I just don't understand how the void works because it also has
You don't
it has a
need to.
native species of invisible aliens.
It's a plot device, Rossi.
I
Do you
know, and I
understand how
like-
sci-fi
I
works?
do, and I like the plot device.
Well, Again, that was the same kind of weirdness you had with, like I said, it's time trap
Mm-hmm.
plus night
I liked night.
Yeah.
plus concerning flight
Oh no.
because they're just beaming
that's
shit off the
'cause
ship.
I think I joked originally when they just stole half the shots. Like, oh no, Da Vinci!
Yep.
Da Vinci's gotten kidnapped
But
again.
but night inexplicably had a species that existed in this.
Yeah.
Well, it's also
Space.
conceivable that Phantome's people didn't start out in the void; that they may be descended from people that did come here on
Yeah.
a ship, and they adapted to live in the void.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was
The
what
Simon
happened.
people, as I came to think of them as.
Simon? Oh, because they were booping boop boop.
Yeah.
I was waiting for them to fucking bust out into goddamn Close Encounters music.
Something that was cool with those aliens. I like those aliens.
I like them a lot.
They're very
Yeah.
cool.
Did you
I like the
recognize
music.
Phantom?
No, but I do know who it was.
Oh,
I can let you.
I'm so happy we saw him because every time we see Jonathan Del Arco, he's the cutest little thing that you just can't.
I
you
know
just
I know
can't
that
kill
name,
him.
but
He's Hugh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Hugh.
wow.
Fuck you.
No.
Hugh. So to me, the void sounds like a fruit fly trap, and I want to know what species built this big fucking fruit fly trap. Like, how big do they have to be that these ships that are huge were little tiny fruit flies that they had to catch in a fruit fly trap?
That would have been interesting. If
I just want to know who did it.
if the void somehow was slowly digesting things in there.
So,
Yeah, maybe that's why there's not more ships.
Yeah.
stupid question. I take it a fruit fly trap is like a pitcher plant, but artificial?
No, so usually it's like There's a lip that they go into, and then it's like a funnel. Actually, okay, picture a 2-liter of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yep.
You cut it in half.
Pepsi. Coke.
Coke, whatever.
Make
bitch.
it Coke.
A 2-liter of Coke. Sprite.
I
It's
want
Sprite.
RC
Sprite all
Cola.
Nobody wants RC Cola.
Sugar-free Moxie.
Sorry to any of our fans in the Midwest that like RC Cola. Anyway, you cut it in half, you turn the top half upside down, and you stick it into the bottom half.
Mhm.
Basically what happens is the fruit flies go into the funnel, but then they're stupid, so they can't find their way back out because they go into a big opening that turns into a small opening. This cat is gonna, speaking of opening, is gonna open me any second now. I've been waiting.
Mhm.
He's got his claws in me.
Oh.
Anyway, no, it's okay. I want to fight through the pain.
It's worth it.
It's
to
gonna
snuggle
make
the
me.
cat.
It's gonna make me a better podcaster. Anyway, 5 minutes later, I'm crying. Oh, he gives kisses. Okay, sorry. Anyway, the point is, it makes me think of a fruit fly trap, and that's like this little hole that they
Yeah.
they can't get back out again.
Yeah, so I
And
just
also,
Now
there
he's-
it goes.
Now he's turned.
There it goes.
all that's
There
got
it goes.
all that's got to stay in
Severe
because
shit.
there were no breaks, but that's fine.
The other way you can do it is you can like put cellophane over a solo cup and poke holes in it, and usually they can go in and not find their way back out again.
That's cruel.
It was cruel.
You gotta be cruel to be
Kind.
kind.
In the right measure, cruel to the kind.
Yeah, speaking of other people we recognized, I recognized some. I didn't actually recognize him,
Aw.
but I was curious because I recognized the voice and I thought it might be somebody we've seen
Was it
before.
Valen?
It was Valen.
Yes.
We have seen Valen before.
We have. I was
but
excited.
not in Star Trek.
Yes, we have in Star
Oh,
Trek.
have we? I didn't.
No,
check.
it's because I count this as Star
Oh,
Trek.
okay.
Oh.
He's in Galaxy Quest?
Saris. He's
He's
No
the main,
shit!
He's the main
General
baddie.
Saris.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, that's Robin
cool.
Sachs.
the big lobster face man.
Oh,
who was
he's the bad guy in
he's the
Galaxy
bad
Quest. Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, the main baddie.
Big bad.
Yeah,
That's
he was
cool.
he was a big voice actor too. So
Yeah, I think that's why I recognized his voice. I'm like, have we seen this guy before? And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, he was Saris.
Cool. I know he wasn't, but it really feels like the weird racist alien should have been James Cromwell.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought that too. He had big James Cromwell vibes.
is it because he had a beaky face?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
might
It's
have
because
been
he was so
beaky
racist.
Like, I don't know what it was. Yeah, maybe that's what it was, but it was just like, he felt like just any of the weird, the times it's been James Cromwell under makeup. It's felt like one of those.
Mm.
I liked his makeup. This episode was nominated for an Emmy in makeup,
Damn.
and I liked beaky face. That looked cool.
Yeah, I did.
It looked more convincing than usual beaky faces look.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2001 now. I think they
Yeah.
figured out how beaky face works.
How does Beaky Face work?
But yeah, I feel like it was telegraphed far too loudly that he was going to be a villain
Here's
when
what I-
he was racist immediately.
Yeah.
Here's what I liked, though. Janeway acknowledged she made a bad call.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting for that to be just like it's like, well, we have to compromise. And it's like, oh, no, I shouldn't have compromised. It's like, oh, okay, so we actually
Yeah.
did have a lesson in this.
I mean, that feels pretty realistic. Like, I know I've done that before, where it's like you put some trust in someone hoping they won't screw you over, and they do, and you're like, the whole time I knew this is what was going to happen. I shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Yeah.
Listen, if the Federation didn't allow racists, we wouldn't have Vulcans.
The Vulcans came up with the Federation
Dude.
so they could be racist to someone.
The Vulcan and the ex-pirate were the ones who were like, we should be pirates now.
They loved it. They were so into being pirates.
Oh, God, you know what Tuvok was really into, though? The potato head listening device.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like, I'm surprised,
God.
like, you found a way to spy on...
Turdo.
Yes, the Paterno is I just picture him going like, you have found a way to spy on anyone at any time, anywhere. I will be in my bunk.
I'm
Not
assuming
because he's watching anything inappropriate, because he just loves spying so much.
Oh, no, because the arousal right there. That just kicked his Ponfar into gear
I
again.
can only
I'm-
be so erect.
I'm assuming it only works in the void. Like, there's something about the void.
I don't know. Remember, though, the Paternos, their whole thing
Yeah.
is spying.
That's true, yeah.
Like, that's why it was appropriate they came up with the spy machine.
I liked them.
I hate
They were
them
fun.
so
They
much.
were fun when they showed up.
No,
They weren't
they're-
overused. They were just there to have that little unnecessary.
They are monsters
I
of the
like
worst
them.
ilk.
because
Give me Cardassians any day.
because of their previous appearance, I was expecting, if anyone's going to turn on them, it's good. Oh, no, they're there till the end. Good for them.
They're just science people. They're like, we're long range reconnaissance. I don't freaking know.
Yeah, but you never know when a science person is going to wind up to be like a...
Mad scientist.
Well, I was going to say a think tank.
Oh, yeah, think tank.
Yeah, it'd be great if the think tank was here. They'd have been able to figure out a way out pretty quickly.
Nope, they would probably be even more racist to somebody else.
Yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't a mutiny in this episode with all the bad decisions Janeway was making.
Yeah.
It really seemed to be brewing. Like,
Yeah. Giving away our shit, not letting us be pirates.
It would have been interesting. So, first off, it seems like she introduced the concept of cooperation to the Void,
Yes.
which is absolutely outrageous. Because, I mean, like, it's not like evil people don't form alliances. They do that a lot, all the time. And so, I think the bad guys would probably have had, like, an alliance block already going. But, like, people just form alliances when they're desperate. It's what they do. You don't need like the morals of the Starfleet Federation to like spur it on.
Yeah.
I think what makes it conceivable is not so much that there's never been an alliance before, but the other alliances were probably based more on self-interest and inevitably fell
absolutely.
apart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because certainly, like, Valen, when he first comes aboard, is like, hey, let's form an alliance so that we can raid other ships together. And Janeway's like, no.
Like Valen and not James Cromwell definitely turned on each other eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but then-
once
yeah.
everybody who was useful got away, all of our new besties... I'm glad we brought the besties with us. That was pretty nice. I expected to leave them in the dust, but, besties forever.
I liked Valen as the villain in this. I thought he was actually kind of interesting because he wasn't ever really malicious.
Yeah, he's pushed to extremes by circumstance.
Yeah, and very much like it's like he saw Janeway as an equal.
Yeah.
Because he saw her ship and was like,
you got photon fucking torpedoes?
Yeah, she could give me a run for my money, and so like she is treated as an equal in a way, and he's pretty upfront where he's like, you plunder the weak ships or you're all gonna die. And the obvious implication too is, and if you show weakness, I will plunder you.
Yep.
And like, but he didn't like, I don't know, he didn't go like, like mustache twirling evil on it, which some people could have performed it that way. He's almost civilized in a very limited way about it.
Yeah.
He actually was even better than Racist Guy because he let everyone live. Racist Guy just blew up the ship. He
did, leave them for dead, kind of let them live.
Yeah.
You will run out of supplies and starve, or your ship will, run out of energy and you'll die, or something else horrible, but it won't be my fault. Directly. I mean,
he
directly.
could have done more harm.
It's that kind of loophole where you have a character who doesn't kill people, but the villain causes their own death conveniently.
I mean, they're all on borrowed time in there as it is.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like we've discussed myriad times in the past, like, but there aren't Federation rules in the Delta Quadrant, and there's no one here to, like, make sure you're abiding by them. Janeway, if you have to go pirate, go pirate. And it's almost fascinating to watch how just strict she is with her anti-pirate law, that she has to, have her little speech to Chakotay and Tuvok about no eye patches, this, that, and the other thing. And you're thinking, this is going to backfire on Janeway. Like, well, but then when you watch her actually corralling folk and realizing, oh, that's right, the Federation exists for a reason. She makes it work.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely on her side for this one. It wasn't necessarily, well, I mean...
You wouldn't go pirate?
It's just out of character. Like, she says some compromises I won't make. It's like what?
Yeah,
you've broken the prime. The prime rule you've compromised.
Look, everyone breaks the prime fucking directive. It's fine.
But that also brings up some other points where she's talking about like in this situation I'm not really sure what to do. I read the Federation Charter and it doesn't say anything about this kind of situation. It's just like a statement of ideals. And it's like why isn't there a book on what to do when you're trapped in a situation where you might need to eat people?
That's the weird thing,
You're on a
though.
spaceship. You might have to eat people.
That's what struck me as I was like, so I read the Federation Charter. It's like, that would be like if you were on a Navy ship that was lost in the middle of nowhere. You're like, I'm going to read the U.S. Constitution. We have a whole book of Navy rules and procedures. The U.S. What?
Yeah, it's like...
What?
Realistically, a ship would have procedures for this kind of situation, or at least some kind of guidance or examples of what other people have done.
Starfleet has General Order 24. They definitely have rules for this situation.
So next episode, not to jump ahead to next episode as we are wont to do, but EMH is going on and on about how he knows all these protocols and shit. He should know some of this.
Well,
but
no,
also,
but
I get terribly...
He's not in command
Oh,
mode,
you have to
right?
flip. You have to flip his switch over
Yeah.
to evil Krusty the Clown doll.
Yes.
Yeah, you got his dip chip is set wrong.
See, they could activate his EPH mode in this one. And you know, his pirate costume would not have been sensible, but based on, like, Gilbert and Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been fucking glamorous. And he'd have been like, after a few days of murder and mayhem, he'd have been like, I'm disappointed. There's far less singing involved in piracy than I expected.
He should have led his friends in a shanty.
Yeah.
The Phantom Ace people can't speak.
Yeah, but
No.
they could play it on their...
Oh, they could play it on their little
violins.
Simon devices.
Yeah.
Their little Casios.
He definitely...
I like their discussion and talking. The beeps and boops.
The beeps. Yeah, I thought that was a new and interesting way to show how people develop and learn language, and how his friends communicate almost immediately when they realize, oh, we got new boopy bops.
Yeah.
We love that. We're gonna boopy bop all the time.
And how the universal translator is completely inconsistent every time. Every time it doesn't work. Beep boop sound pretty simple in terms of language translation.
yeah, but they never gave it the translation.
Yeah, but the thing is, the
should
universal
learn.
translator should figure it out, and it should just translate it to English.
Well, yeah, it's developing so fast, the translator's still trying to catch up.
I mean, the Doctor could talk to them.
That's true.
The Doctor was the universal translator. If the Doctor could figure it out, the universal translator.
You know, here's what it was. They weren't actually talking. They were just making goofy sounds, and the Doctor was making up what he wanted.
That's
what
pretty
he wanted to be
good.
saying.
I like this episode. I like the concept of it a lot. I feel like
It is a little high on its morals, but it's
Star Trek. I mean,
I like the Robinson Crusoe aspect where like it doesn't really get used. Like I think the only time that they're like really creative with like how they're going to utilize materials within this like very limited space is when they come across a dead ship in 7 of 9 is like, the warp core is gone, but the shielding on that warp core is made of some magic metal that someone didn't bother to grab.
Quick, go rip up all their carpets.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so, like, it would have been very, very interesting if, like, Valen's ship, like, was just a mess. Like, just clearly, like, chunks of ships just welded together. Yeah, just like...
You mean when Voyager was supposed to have been by this point?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's what I would have preferred that ship to look like.
Yeah, or like one of those weird, like Hugh's ship from Descent, that weird looking fucking thing.
Yeah.
That just looks like ships stapled together.
Yeah,
or,
like that would have been pretty neat. And like it's like can you even do warp properly in the void? Like it wouldn't even need to like
nowhere to go.
It could just be like a weird sticky blob.
It could be like a ship made out of all the huts glued together, like an Escape from Gilligan's Island.
Yes.
I believe you. I also like Neelix this episode because the first thing that he says after, we're stuck here in the void, he says, can I take my ship out? The Baraxial? Something like that.
Sure.
Because, I used to be a scavenger and I was damn good at it. That's how I met you people. Let me go scavenge and maybe do some pirating. No, but mostly scavenging. And then later on when Janeway is trying to woo some people over to her side, Neelix says, well, I'm a member of the Alliance, technically. So yes, there is a precedent member. Ha-ha! Did this help? Not really? Oh, okay.
I like
people did
They did
eventually join.
I did like that a lot.
Did that help? No? Okay, well, I'm gonna go have a panic attack because there's no stars. We all remember that from Night, right?
Nice if they at least mentioned him being a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to make a big deal of it, but
No.
he could just be like,
Well, in Night...
It's been a tough week.
In Night, it's that it had been going on for a long time.
True.
I think they've been here a couple
But just
days.
the fact that he was specifically that said what happened to the stars, like, are they going to remember some continent? No.
Yeah.
No.
Whoopsie.
And especially because it's him, and he's one of the few characters they kind of remember things about. Yeah. So I was like,
that might have been
so many lines.
The nod to it.
It's like they're like, we can't really do more than just have him at least notice.
Yeah.
I also joked that they transported Phantom and his friends onto Valen's ship, where there'll be no Tribble at all.
That's right. I meant to make that joke too. So it's also the Trouble with Tribbles. It's 4 episodes so far. Can we get more in there?
Probably.
So they totally just murdered all those guys, right?
Who? What?
The Phantomes. They just
Oh, the
vengeance
Phantom.
on Valen.
Yeah, but they can't run a ship themselves.
I know.
They probably could. They were very intelligent.
Yeah.
They also don't need much to survive, it sounds like.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing that was just kind of like, how did they survive exactly? Like,
Yeah.
like do the...
They're like tardigrades.
Sounds like they can just like sneak aboard ships. When
Yeah, I guess it depends how long. So, like, Phantom 8 comes on board because they transport that warp shell.
Yeah.
He was, like, hiding in the warp shell. So, like, maybe... Yeah, maybe, like, they can... I don't know how old that ship was. Maybe it's, like, months, years.
He's been holding his breath for 12 and a half years. My God.
I thought there was a weird food called an Olean guava.
Mm.
Looked
Oh,
kind
it
of
looked like fucking fried eggs, didn't it?
I
Kind
thought
of.
it looked kind of like an areola cookie.
Yeah.
Well, whatever Tom was eating looked like eyeballs.
It did.
Yeah,
See, that's it.
it seemed tasty.
Here's the thing. Whatever
like
it was, like, because yeah, you're right. At first, it's just kind of like an eyeball, but also, if I thought about it, it's like, oh, that looks like it might be a nice gyoza. That'd be good. Not gyoza. Is that the one I mean?
I don't know what
The
you're
little shrimp
Sure.
dumpling thing.
I know what you're
Shumai?
talking about.
Shumai looks like a shumai. I like a shumai.
Ugh. I also thought Seven says, "Oh, Tom, you may have something more to your liking, like a peanut butter jelly sandwich." And I said, "What's wrong with a peanut butter and jelly
Yeah.
sandwich?"
That seemed to be with the 7 of 9 cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that was like Jerry Ryan's thing.
Oh, she likes cooking, or
Yes. In fact, I don't know if it was at this point or later. Like, she had a restaurant with like her boyfriend or
Oh,
husband
cool.
at the time, and like, yeah. So that was, I think, specifically written in for the actress.
Well,
was her boyfriend or husband at the time Brandon Braga? Or
No,
I don't
so,
know. I don't know her timeline.
I don't know the timeline. At some point, Brandon Braga and her were dating while the show was ongoing, but I think also while the show was ongoing, maybe earlier, she like owned a restaurant with a boyfriend or,
That's cool.
or a husband other than Braga.
I
And
honestly...
she was like the hostess.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I didn't mean to cut you off.
She loved cooking.
I was kind of waiting for that scene to just be, like, fake. Because it seemed so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I expected it to be hollow deck fuel of some kind. But then it wasn't.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's like a sudden, like, let's pay attention to 7 moment.
Well, not even just that. It's just like... I don't know. Everything about it felt weird. And now I feel like I understand why. It's because they shoehorned it in for her. Because she was like, I want everybody to know how much I love cooking.
Well, I liked it as just sort of like I mean, it didn't. It could have been in literally almost any episode, like a lot of these things, but just it's she's personing, but still in a way that's very 7.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
she's personing. And the person she's personing today is a fucking asshole.
I mean, she's probably right. It was probably salted fine. Tom is a child.
She is the one that would accuse you of your taste buds being
Everybody
wrong.
was mean to each other in that scene.
Yeah, I didn't really like it.
like.
Paris
Somebody
was
made a
taking
joke.
shots at Neelix.
Yeah, people making jokes about Neelix's food being shitty, and it's
Which, guys, you're used to it by now.
It's like also just like
you've come to enjoy
give the
it.
guy a fucking break. He's been feeding you nonstop for 7 years, and you're still saying his food sucks.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I like this episode, but there's like just not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of.
think we talked a lot about this episode.
Yes.
We got some stuff out
We
of
did
it.
some talking.
I don't.
Janeway resists piracy, unlike a certain captain I could name.
All of them.
Now, there's a particularly egregious one we're going to see in
Oh, and
Enterprise.
Oh,
Oh,
Chris is foreshadowing things we don't know yet.
He steals the Damar episode. That's the one.
What the fuck's going on?
I don't remember the title. There's a thing. It's part of season 3, which I've said before is trash.
I know. I think I know which one you're talking about.
The closer we get, the more I dread it.
Season 3 or just the show in general?
Mostly season 3.
Season 3's fun.
There's some good Enterprise, yeah. But there's more Voyager, too. Holy shit.
Dude, but not nearly enough.
All right, we got 2 episodes, so I'm going to just clump together. Workforce 1 and 2. We're going. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Janeway, and I work in a button factory. I got a Jaffin, a dog, and absolutely no memories of being a Starfleet captain. So, push the button with your right hand, Janeway. It all appears the Voyager crew is randomly working for the Quarren now. And they have no idea why, but they're really fucking happy about it, because I guess the pay is good. I don't fucking know.
Except Tom.
Yeah, Tom hated it.
I like being a bartender.
Yeah.
He seemed fine with
Yeah,
that.
but I wonder why everybody else loved their jobs, but he was
Because
just like...
he's a pain in the ass, always. They wiped his memory. They didn't, like, fundamentally alter what a pain in the ass he is.
Okay.
All right, let's get through this.
Yes.
So Seven's here. She gets to boss people around.
She's great at it.
Paris gets to be a bartender. And Tuvok, in typical Vulcan fashion, isn't taking to this memory wipe thing as well as the others. Because, there's been a lot going on in Tuvok's head over the course of
It
this
is
show.
so busy in
It
there.
is cramped. So let's shove him back on the brainwash table. Have fun, Tuvok. Meanwhile, Chakotay, Kim, and Neelix are all getting back from some kind of away mission. And they find Voyager adrift, as you do. And the emergency command hologram is basically, barely keeping everything together. So we learn the rest of the story now. ECH tells us, the crew had to abandon ship because we kept running into radioactive mines and things were going poorly and all this stuff. And Chakotay tracks them down to Quora, where everybody is now. It's this planet in the midst of a giant labor shortage. And the people say, yeah, all those people you just named, yeah, they're here, but they don't know who you are, so you must be up to something. Get fucking lost. So, Chakotay and Neelix get to go play dress-up like they do, and they go infiltrate the planet and, say we've got these jobs, but really we're here to kidnap Torres. So they kidnap the fuck out of Torres, kind of horrifyingly, because she has no idea what's going on. And they probably should have been more subtle about it, but what are you going to do? But oh no, Chakotay is trapped on planet now. Oh god, what's going to happen in part 2? So part 2 begins now. Chakotay, he's hiding from this investigator Yared, I think. And he decides, Janeway's bunking down with Jaffin. I'm going to go hang out in her house because she's not going to be there. And Jaffin seems like a really nice guy until, he turns me into the fucking the people.
Oh no, dude, Janeway did that.
I thought Jaffin did.
No, I think Janeway did.
I don't think Janeway did, but we'll get to this. So Chakotay's slowly trying to bring Janeway around. She's like, spaceship captain, you say. Interesting. But Chakotay gets captured, and this Dr. Kadan? Did they name any of these people on the show, or did they just find them in a book?
Can't remember.
The young doctor had a name, but I don't remember.
The young doctor is Ravik.
Yeah.
The older doctor is Kadan, and he's fucking got Chakotay now. And we're like, oh no! Here's a whole bunch of other things that are happening. I'm going to list them off because there's a lot that's going on because it's a two-parter. Seven has been figuring everything out for herself because she's 7 and she's brilliant. And she was
this. Mind melded.
Yeah, she got a mind meld.
Because it wasn't working for Tuvok.
Because Tuvok's stuck on a table right now because he's got what they call dysphoria syndrome, which is really just that his memory wipe isn't taking.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 teams up with whoever else is fucking around. I don't even fucking remember. A lot of people. Torres is getting unbrainwashed up on the ship, and Neelix gets to play nurse again, like he did in Riddles, and it's very sweet. And Kim and Emergency Command Hologram are having a dick measuring contest for no fucking reason, and I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
So finally, here we go. We get to the end. Janeway has decided, you know what? I'll try to get these people out of here, because this seems fine. Being a captain sounds like fucking fun. Maybe I'll get to, self-destruct some ships. But she does the next best thing. She self-destructs some kind of thing in her work that's gonna turn the horse fields down, or whatever.
Living the dream. Self-destructing work.
So long, bitches. I'm gonna go live as a starship captain. Investigator Yared. Book literally everybody. Because there was some kind of what's it going on. And
Book him, Dano.
You seem fucking like the only moral person on this planet other than Ravik who's on a table because that doctor's a dick. The end. I guess. Did I miss? How much did I miss?
That
I
seems
feel
to have
like
been the gist
James
of it.
got into the Caitlyn juice this week.
You missed the best scene in Star Trek, which was Tuvok explaining a joke that he
Oh,
liked.
yeah.
Irony is sometimes a source of humor.
Very Ryan George, that.
It was very off-putting. Tuvok was off-putting most
He
of
was
it.
awful.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I didn't like it in a way that was intended, or if I just didn't really like
I think
it.
it's supposed to
It was
be
supposed to be
off-putting.
unsettling. You know?
I know,
Well,
but
because he's not used to being normal people, and they
Yeah.
fucking rewrote him wrong.
I felt like it was a rare miss from Tim Russ, maybe. Like,
Whoa, I can't
No,
blame
no
Tim
such
Russ.
thing.
I'm going to blame a writer
That's-
or a
that's
director,
why,
not Tim
yeah.
Russ.
I don't even think there was
that.
I don't think there was a problem because I think the idea was things are wrong. You're supposed to notice that things are wrong. Tuvok's not supposed to act like this.
Right.
Like I think for the first little while of saying, "Oh, Janeway's here," and she's doing something. What's going on here? Are we back at home? Is this a foreshadowing? Is this after we've gotten
Maybe,
home?
yeah, maybe undercover.
Yeah, is she undercover? Like, what's going on with this? And you see Seven. It's like, okay, maybe Seven's in on it. I don't know. And then you see Tuvok, and you're like, oh, fucking no.
That's true, yeah.
This is wrong.
Yeah, so two-parter episode of Star Trek Voyager, where the crew has no memory of who they are, except for Harry Kim. They all hang out at a bar, and B'Elanna's pregnant. The Killing Game.
Wow, it's the greatest hits this week. I didn't even think of that.
I feel like that's one of the biggest flaws in this episode is it is just the Killing Game.
Yeah.
But I think this is a better episode than...
Yeah, I like this episode more. I also like... It's like the Killing Game with a touch of Janeway fucks the holodeck guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's got a boyfriend. And I have to say, I think that of all of like the little relationships that they've tried to pull over the years, I think that this was the most...
This one was good.
This
I
one
like
was
this
This was
one.
the best Janeway falls in love with an alien.
He should have.
I think it is totally bullshit that actor didn't just write out the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Because her reasoning was bad. Like her reason was literally like, I can't have you on my crew because we'd be dating. It's like,
I can't fuck you if you're on my
He
crew.
can't just be your partner
he can't be
on
a
the
passenger.
He doesn't have to be
Work
in
in the
crew.
kitchen with Neelix.
Listen,
But-
listen, James. The last time Janeway gave someone her heart, he forgot about her when she disappeared into the Delta Quadrant, got rid of her fucking dog, and married somebody else. She
True.
can't get hurt again,
That's
James.
very-
I thought you were going to talk about the weird fascist guy.
Yeah, there was also
I thought it was gonna be
turned
Michael
out he was
Sullivan.
a Nazi.
No, that was awesome. She was into that, but she.
Yeah.
See, I
Katarina!
what it really just comes down to
What did
is
you say?
Katarina.
Katarina!
Oh no, not that.
I mean, realistically, I think the better thing really just would have been she can't ask this guy to give up his life.
Well, so that's
But
the
he
other
already
point.
got fired from his... Or he got promoted.
So he got promoted, but the thing is that he was like, he wasn't like mind
right, that's what I mean.
brainwashed.
It was actually his
No,
life.
He wasn't brainwashed, but he did leave his home planet
True.
For a better life.
for a better life already.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this isn't like his home,
No,
like,
that's true.
and maybe he's been there for a bunch of years or whatever, but like they had a real connection. Like
Yeah.
that part wasn't fake, and so like I think that he could have. He just couldn't.
Yeah, I think they
Is
could've
all I'm
done
saying.
that.
Is
Yeah,
they
he
they
could've.
absolutely could have just kept him around, and that would have been pretty interesting.
It would have.
I don't think this show doesn't do that.
No,
Like,
I
you're
know,
asking
I
for
know.
an
She's not,
entirely
I want a-
different
I
show.
want a
even
better show.
acknowledge that this guy ever
I
existed.
know. I want to show that.
This stuff never happened
I
in
really
Deep Space Nine or TNG either.
I loved them together. I really
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah, I
them to
thought
be
they were very
together.
good.
They at one point he said like, "Are you willing to throw away what we have?" And I was like, "You did just move in only like 2 days ago."
Yeah.
That's
And
a
that-
little. That I was like, that's kind of the one moment where I was like, "Ooh!" Like,
And
other
that's
than that,
when
they have
Janeway
chemistry.
went and turned in Chakotay.
She
Because
absolutely did not.
She did. She
is
realized he
Caitlin's
was
the
right.
only one that thinks
No.
this, right?
No, I think she did.
I thought
think-
Janeway, because she looks pensively out the window. She's
think
sad.
so. Basically, yeah, Manface kind of convinces her by being like, I think he convinces her that Chakotay had kind of manipulated her, because that's his argument. It's like, listen, this guy fucking shows up, he's suspected in this kidnapping, and he has this fucking grandiose, crazy story that you know is bullshit. And I think that, and like, whether or not she placed the call to the cops or not, she totally knew that the cops were being called and was okay with it.
I was going to say that I thought that the investigator was just kind of doing due diligence and like checking out where people were, and so he was trying to track down Catherine, and then went to her apartment, not realizing that she had moved out.
I don't think he
But-
was with the cops that busted
No,
in.
yeah, no, that's why
Yeah, that's
I
a
think I'm
different
wrong.
group.
And also a whole bunch of people burst in at once.
Yeah, no, they
So-
knew Chakotay.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
SWAT team.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. I thought Johnny Inspector there was Dufresne. Not Dufresne. Duquesne. Very similar head.
Yeah.
Duquesne?
Time cop. The one that
Relativity.
Oh, yeah,
the one that isn't crazy.
Yeah.
He's got a similar look.
Is he the guy from NCIS?
No.
No, I can kind of see who you're thinking of.
He's
though.
from Picard season 2.
The guy in this episode or the guy that isn't in this
The
episode?
guy that isn't.
This is
in
getting-
it.
I'm talking about the
this is
guy
getting
who
way
is
too
in the
confusing.
episode.
Oh, I don't know where this guy came from.
Anyway, I thought it wouldn't be in Janeway's character, even with a memory wipe, to call the cops on someone who seems earnest.
No, but I don't think. I think that her boyfriend with the best of intentions, convinced her that no, Chakotay isn't Ernest. He is
Chakotay.
He is a criminal who's kidnapped one woman already, has a gunshot wound, and is obviously just trying to manipulate you to get help, and he'll possibly murder and rape you if given the chance.
Also remember that kidnapping people is such a problem because there's such a labor shortage in the sector or whatever, that like kidnapping workers is literally a thing that other planets do in order to get workers. Yeah, it's
I don't remember that.
That's why the planet has that shield around it. Because there's such a great labor shortage that other planets are coming by and beaming people out. And that, like, it's a flimsy thing.
Yeah.
But, like, that is the in-universe reason why they can't just beam everybody off the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think you would have planetary shields if you had the technology for it in this world anyway. The fact that Earth doesn't seem to have one is fucking bonkers.
Something that's because of that planetary shield thing about the workers. At the very end, they do deactivate the planetary shield.
True.
So a whole bunch of people may have just gotten kidnapped by like slave traders.
Yeah, possibly.
But to be fair, they may have been kidnapped by slave traders to get there to begin with.
So one cancels out the other.
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
But
Two slaveries makes a not.
Well, it turns out that, like, so it's not
Civil
a
rights
government.
violation.
I mean, it is kind of a government conspiracy because the chief inspector apparently is in on this. But
It's a very small...
yeah, it's only this one power plant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible this is very common and this is happening all the time. And this is just the one time that...
Someone noticed.
Well, it's the one time that there happened to be A, people off the ship when it happened, and B, a fucking hologram that could command the ship and hide in a nebula for a while.
They said it was done a few thousand times by these specific people.
By this one little ring of
the episode ends with like all of the bad guys getting arrested by like the detective, and that just feels like the most like ill-advisedly optimistic ending.
Yeah,
because
little bit.
They're never gonna go to jail.
No,
they are going to get promoted.
Yared's gonna disappear.
Yeah, Javik's dead. The nice doctor, he's gone. Ravik, excuse me. Ravik's
he got
dead.
his brain wiped. He might be fine. He's just working at the power plant.
He's in the poop
Right,
mines now.
But it's like the government's going to look at the scheme and be like, this is brilliant. And they're going to do more of it. They're not going to send them to jail. Or some other planet's going to get wind of what they did, and they're going to kidnap the guy and, take him to do it on their planet. Like,
imagine getting kidnapped by Ralph Malph. How embarrassing.
Chris is full of references.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I'm
I never get any of your references, Chris.
Sorry, the evil doctor was played by Donnie Most, who played, appropriately, Richie's... I don't want to call him a friend. He's an acquaintance of Richie's on Happy Days, and they toned it down over the years, but his original character was mostly just sort of a conniving, like, kind of semi-con man character. They again, kind of toned that down over the years, but... So it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, look at him. It's Donnie
he
Most.
did look familiar. I don't know who that character is, but at least having you name a character that you've seen him play makes me think I probably did know him. I'd look it up, though. Obviously.
And actually, the bartender, I thought I recognized her. I didn't. But she, like Phil Morris, was one of the Miri kids.
She was.
Oh.
She's Phil Morris's sister.
What?
Oh.
You looked up that much and didn't look up that her name, I have her name, it's down here, Iona Morris. Phil Morris's sister.
Didn't even occur to me that it was the same surname. And then I just jumped straight to her filmography. I skipped her biography, so...
She was underused. I liked Imali.
Yeah, she just
she was
vanished
cool.
by episode 2, and I was very upset.
Yeah.
She was also apparently the original voice of Storm in the 90s X-Men cartoon.
Look at that.
No, I liked her. The whole Morris family. Love them.
I hadn't... I saw the name. Didn't occur to me because it's a semi-common surname. And again, just jumped right to filmography, so I had no fucking idea. That is terrific.
So we had the scene in sickbay where when Doctor is doing the surgery on Chakotay and Neelix is like, "Oh, you should have been a Talaxian.
He
we would have made a."
I do kind of want to see it. I want to see it.
I was like, I want to think, but I feel like that scene ended too quickly because there was a missing section where, as they were getting ready, Chakotay's like, okay, all right, well, what are our names going to be? And Neelix's like, well, I'll just be Neelix and you can be Chakotay. and Chakotay's like, no, I want to do fake names. I'll be whatever name you
I
get.
couldn't be a
Amal
pirate
Cote.
last week.
Yeah.
And
This
Neelix
week I'm picking a
and
name.
Neelix and the Doctor just kind of look at each other like, they don't know who we are. You can just be Chakotay. No, I'm going to do a fake name.
Yeah, that was
What are you going to be?
that was
I'm
so
going to
weird.
be Neelix.
Why did they have to fake what he looked like?
Well, because they had
They didn't want him to
seen
look. They didn't want him to look human.
And again,
So
like
they added a couple little ridges. Like
It's Star Trek,
I know
that's
it's
enough.
the Star Trek problem.
No,
when it
see,
comes
what-
to the
what-
aliens, but like
what bothered me wasn't that. It was that apparently all it takes to undo extensive
They're
facial fucking reconstructive surgery is a dermal regenerator. Also, when he used it, and she goes, "We're the same race." I want to go, whoa, we are the same species, Whitey. Calm down.
I liked what's his name, Jaffin?
Yeah.
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
I liked the joke he was telling that Tuvok had to explain. It was just like, it's like the person was like, why'd you, like, it's like, your father would have been a good example or whatever. He's like, I'm Norvalan, I don't have a father. Man, how does that species work?
Are him and Janeway compatible?
No, see, that's the other thing
I didn't think of that.
thinking. I was like, all Janeway in this episode wants to do is boop computers and boop whatever Jaffin has downstairs. Like,
Listen, we don't know what he has downstairs, but he's got a mouth and a tongue.
Oh, I'm not-
What else does one
Or-
need?
I'm not saying there would be incompatible.
Okay,
It's just,
maybe-
who knows? It's
Maybe
like-
they just can't make babies.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that his species doesn't have fathers per se, but his species are kind of like mantises.
Oh.
So
Oh,
he just
cool.
never knew his father.
He
Part of the reason he left his home world was because he was like, I'd like to fucking not die.
Yeah, like
he
at
very
the- at
nervously
the first,
asks Janeway if she wants kids.
the first time they bang, he's like, okay, well, see ya. She's like, what is it, a one night stand? He's like, yeah.
Where's your knife? What the fuck?
You're supposed to eat my head.
It's like in
That's what they're calling it these days.
It's like Men in Black. Eat me! Eat me!
Took me a minute.
What the hell is what?
The original one, when
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is trying to get Vincent D'Onofrio to eat him so he could get his gun back.
Yeah.
He liked that
I don't remember
guy.
any of this.
How do you not? That's a good.
It's
scene.
near the
Sugar
end. It's
in
near the
water.
end.
All I remember of that movie.
Fuck, can we do Men in Black at some point?
Oh my god,
Maybe.
yes.
Just the first one.
All 12 or so.
And the cartoon to listen to the theme song.
The cartoon was actually, I remember being quite good. I wonder if
How
it's
old
on-
were you?
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
Theme song is still good though.
It is, yeah.
Did Will Smith do it?
No.
Jake.
Yeah. Bum. So what do we think of the ECH?
Sick of him. Fucking sick of
He
him.
was kind
God
of.
damn it. Here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. God damn it. I couldn't stand this. Sure. When everyone else goes into time capsules, what are they fucking called? Escape pods. And goes away, turn on the ECH, leave him in charge. Fine. Chakotay gets back. He's the first officer. Turn him off!
Yeah.
Turn
Janeway,
him off!
Janeway forgot to give that, put that in the program. Only she can turn him off.
Yeah. So,
Or she did that on purpose.
well, so the ECH, yeah. The part of, if you notice when she activated him, it transferred the command codes to him. So he might be the only person that can actually
Turn himself
turn himself
off.
off.
That's a mistake, Janeway.
Yeah, it's scary.
Well, that's why the ECH was a terrible idea.
See, no,
From
was
one
it-
of the Doctor's stupid dreams.
what was a terrible idea was that whole B plot.
Yeah.
I liked seeing the ECH until they decided to, as you said, Ames, make it a dick measuring contest between him and Harry. You didn't do Harry dirty enough in fucking Nightingale. Now you're gonna do this? Couldn't they have just been buddies and been here's the thing.
But I
I'm
feel
completely
like they weren't... Go ahead.
I am completely against Roddenberry's no conflict among the crew thing, but this would have been a great episode for that.
I don't feel like they were really dick measuring that long, though. I feel like at the beginning they were, but pretty quickly they wound up admitting that one had one strength and one had the other and just kind of doing it.
Yeah, but I could have done without any
Yeah,
dick measuring at all.
I think part of the issue is they just don't have a lot of scenes.
Right.
So all of their scenes tend to be focused on that conflict. And that's
Yeah.
sort of all it's dealing
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's so much
like
a confident as much as a one-upsmanship thing.
Yeah,
That's
which
what
again,
it was.
Yeah, which
Yes.
again,
They
didn't
didn't-
need that.
Yeah, they could have just
Been buddies.
Yeah, it's they could have even been kind of unsure of each other because
Yeah.
the Doctor wouldn't necessarily want to be taking orders from Kim for it's like, because that's who the Doctor is. And Kim wouldn't really want to be taking things from the Doctor because Kim, like, feels like he already deserves to be more in charge than he is. And so, like, you don't have to be in direct conflict to have problems with the situation.
Right. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
And the way that they resolve it, I think, is fine. Where the Doctor's like, oh, I read this really cool thing in a book and it works here. And then he runs into a situation where he can't do that anymore, and Kim comes up with something off the bat.
Yeah.
And, it's like they realize, like, it's like, oh, there are strengths, like the sets.
The Doctor has book smarts, and Harry Kim has
sax smarts.
Oh, sax smarts. That's good.
Bill Clinton sax smarts.
He's just so cool now.
I think we have brought that up every week since that episode.
Did anybody notice, though, that, like, all right, so on the shuttlecraft, or on the Delta Flyer, it was Beltran, Harry Kim, and Neelix.
Mm-hmm.
And they get back to Voyager, and only Kim and Chakotay board, evidently. Yeah. And then they have this whole long, 5-minute montage of them fixing up the ship.
Yeah.
Neelix is nowhere to be seen.
Neelix is we don't see Neelix, it looked like just the Doctor, Harry, and Chakotay were fixing up the ship, and Neelix was just, like, left on the shuttle.
He got stuck doing the less glamorous repairs.
Mm.
He was
Cleaning
in the toilet.
plasma tubes.
Here's the other question. So on whatever this away mission was, Harry gets himself sick by drinking meat juice of some kind.
It's something nectar, and it's a meat
nectar.
byproduct.
Yeah.
And Neelix was like, it's a delicacy.
And sure, when that's on the Delta Flyer, that's fine. It's a little thing that he's doing. He comes back, and it comes up again.
Yeah, I thought
in the weirdest way.
That was just part of the conflict between the Doctor and Kim, and that's the only reason it happened.
That's why you flip him back to Doctor mode. Because you got a patient, dick ass.
I was waiting for that to, like, matter, but no, it's just part of this idiot side plot.
Yeah.
Also, since when is Chakotay a vegetarian?
I know, I was thinking that was interesting too.
Janeway was
it
going...
It kind of makes sense, though.
Except...
burned a roast.
Yeah, she was going to serve him...
over again.
Yeah, she has planned on serving him meat.
I think he started as a vegetarian, and then they just kind of forget that detail.
Here's the thing. Chakotay, this is how smart Chakotay is. He knew that when Janeway invited him over for a roast, that she was going to destroy it, and he wasn't going to have to eat the roast anyway.
There we go.
Also, I mean, we are in current day coming to the point where, they're starting to grow meat. It's like vat grown meat, which sounds horrible, but the thing is like, I will gladly, meat that doesn't come from a living thing.
Yeah,
comes from a factory production. Like, I'm cool with that. That's like, I would prefer that. I would definitely, I'm all on board on that.
Same.
Like, it's like, that wouldn't necessarily make me a vegetarian. It's like, when you have access to fake meat, like, replicated meat didn't come from a living thing. You don't replicate a cow and then slaughter it.
Right.
You're just replicating
steak.
So it's
I would say the idea of a vegetarian is you don't eat animals. Like, you don't eat something that was alive. So if it's lab grown and it's got no material in it that came from an animal, I would say you could very well eat lab-grown meat.
Or replicated meat is even...
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, because it doesn't cause suffering.
Yeah, that's just made out of everybody else's poop.
I think there would be vegetarians who just don't eat meat ever, like even replicated and
because some of them just don't like it.
Yeah, you might not want it.
But I think there would be some people that would... I guess you wouldn't be considered... There would need to be another term for it, because vegetarian...
Replicarian.
Yeah.
Replicated.
Replicants.
Yeah. But I could see somebody still considering, like, maybe, like... I'm sure they're going to chalk it up to, like, a spirituality thing, They're going to be like, oh, well, because of his Native American beliefs, he doesn't want to hurt animals, which, sure. But he fucking loves cheeseburgers, so he replicates them.
Yeah, I could totally see that just being like, he's a vegetarian, which in our time means he'll eat replicated meat, but these people don't use replicators, so that was actual meat juice.
Also, Chakotay probably just told Neelix that he was a vegetarian.
To avoid the meat juice.
To avoid eating any meat that Neelix prepares.
Meat nectar.
And not having to eat the meat nectar was just another benefit.
Oh, speaking of, we also get some more continuity because Janeway burns this roast too for
does.
Jaffin.
Yeah.
She's always burning roasts.
She's just a terrible cook.
Why did she insist that she have to be the one that cooks?
Well, because apparently he's bad at it also.
I just don't understand why a replicator has a burnt food setting.
And that's the thing, it sounds like...
doesn't make sense!
Well, they don't call it a replicator on that planet, but it sounds like it's still some sort of synthesizer.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if it, like... synthesized, but you still like maybe there's like a kid mode, or like you can either turn your replicator to just make my whole meal, or you can turn it to like turn on the advanced mode where you actually have to do some of the work.
Yeah, actually, some 3D printers, like you have 3D printers that like literally might give you a menu of like 12 easy things you can just print then and there. Like, libraries and stuff have those, especially like the really simple ones. Or you can go all nuts and make your own G code and set your 3D printer on fire.
I love setting my 3D printer on fire.
It's very fun.
G code sounds like a new Gatorade subset.
It's not. It's a real thing, and it's old.
Oh, I'm sure.
G-Code's been around for like ages. You're wrong, Chris.
Jesus
It
Christ.
actually
You're
sounds
wrong.
more like a Mountain Dew.
Wrong.
Anywho,
It does, yeah.
Yes, Jake. Tell us how much you loved those workforce uniforms.
Oh, those are some dope ass uniforms.
I liked them.
That one looked good.
I thought the shininess of it was nice. I like a shiny.
I feel like they made Janeway look fat, and she's not.
I don't think she looked fat.
jumpsuit,
It
It
was
was usually not flattering.
No, but it looked like it was too tight. Like, I felt like I could see visible rolls on Janeway, and Janeway's not...
I think that was just the material.
Well, then that material is shit.
Very unflattering.
Not gonna lie, those uniforms bounced right off me. I cannot think of what they looked like.
Blue,
They had these
shiny.
blue jumpsuits.
sticky outy shoulders, which are kind of
They
cool.
remind me of like what's her name? Sally Rides, sort of. Her what the fuck's her name? You know who I'm talking about? The astronaut
Sally
teacher.
Ride.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wait.
Krista McAuliffe?
Wait, which one of them had the blue
they
outfit?
both would have.
Okay,
That was just a
it
uniform.
reminds me of that.
Okay.
Kinda, except shinier.
Some of them had these like cool like pin things on. Like,
Yeah, I
it's,
vaguely
like,
recall the pins, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
and like they were like kind of cool and geometric and looked like they might have been like carved out of circuit boards or something. Like they looked really cool. I saw those. I was like, I want to make one of those real bad.
Do it. Make us one.
So here's the thing.
Tell us.
What's the thing?
They were abducting the people, but then they also wanted to steal the ship.
Oh, it had
Why
some
not?
nice
It's
stuff.
an empty ship.
What are they going to do with it?
Sell it for contraband.
Or like use it to. I mean, it's got transporters. Use it to steal some more people.
It seemed like there was just like multiple layers of like criminal corruption.
Yeah,
Maybe-
the guy that steals the people, and it's like, okay, you get us the people, and you can keep the ship. Like, that's
Right.
the deal.
Yeah,
That's a good deal.
That seemed
That's
to
a
be
good deal.
So Voyager just doesn't have escape pods anymore, right?
I think
They went and
replaced
got them back. Or they used the vehicle replicator that we know that it has.
If they can make new shuttles, they can make new escape pods.
Yeah, because I think like maybe because three at least were blown up by Harry, but yeah, they'd have to like go back to where they were initially bombed to find the rest of them, assuming they weren't destroyed by the people that kidnapped them.
They were probably sold for scrap.
So, do you think there were any crew members that at the end Janeway was just like,
Oh yeah,
Shitty guy.
That fucker from Good Shepherd.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Good Shepherd people.
Bug
the
from
Bug,
Bug.
yeah.
Yeah, the Good Shepherd people are definitely still working at the power plant.
You know what? And they're very happy.
They love it.
Actually, you know who stayed behind willingly even after his memory restored was Tom Morello.
Oh
Because
no.
he really liked the work they gave. He's like, this is actually genuinely quite fun.
Wait, you guys are brainwashed?
That's good. Well done.
I mean, he was a man that was thrilled to bits to be in the asshole of Voyager, so
Yeah.
his threshold for excitement is pretty low.
I liked that the writers had an actual callback on a character trait.
Was
Where-
it when Janeway talked to her console?
No, I thought no.
That
I mean
was a
that is also
callback
it is also
to
a
a
callback.
character
That is a
trait.
callback to a
That
character
came
trait
out
as
of
well.
nowhere for a single episode. Of all things to call
came out of
back
nowhere
to.
for
It's
2
back.
episodes. No, but B'Elanna liking pancakes and it being her favorite
Oh, they look
breakfast.
good.
They
as
weren't
shit.
banana pancakes.
That is, I was wondering. I couldn't remember.
It was banana pancakes
Yeah.
specifically,
So they
and I was
were half-
pissed.
they were half
because I
there.
want some right
They were
now.
half.
Well, you're not supposed to have...
So good.
Klingons aren't supposed to have banana when they're pregnant.
Too
You
much
see.
magnesium.
Yeah. Wait.
Potassium.
I was pulling shit out my ass. Are pregnant women really not supposed to eat bananas?
How
Or...
the fuck should I know? What do I look
Oh,
pregnant to you?
no, but you said it so confidently.
You can't.
Every
you
once
can't
in a
have
while
too
I
much
get off a good
potassium.
one.
You can. Okay, so there we go. Neelix was being considerate.
Aw, he's pretty good at that.
I liked how Tom was trying to protect her, even though he didn't know who she was.
Yeah,
That
I
was
thought they
nice,
were very
yeah.
cute, and I
Really
thought,
sweet.
B'Elanna getting her memories back, and then it was a little squicky when she's reading Tom's logs. I'm like, B'Elanna, stop it.
It's gross, but I will like the exchange where, it's like, so Neelix comes in and she's like, oh, I'm reading logs. And he says, oh, well, it's like, do you remember writing any of them? She says, no, I'm writing Tom's. And Neelix says, isn't that private? And she was like, oh, I'm reading the ones where, it's like he talked about me. And Neelix says, oh, so what do they say? And B'Elanna says, oh, it's private.
Yeah, that was a good joke.
I thought it was cute. But like, yeah, no, I shouldn't have been reading his logs.
I mean, maybe, now they're married, certain logs are public domain.
Yeah. That's one thing that's kind of weird is like why the writers preferred, instead of just brainwashing them to be a married couple, they brainwashed B'Elanna to be a single mom with no support structures.
I don't even know who the dad is.
Right?
Well, would they have necessarily known that they were...
That's kind of the thought I had.
I'd assume their doctor could scan the baby and be like, whose is this? His. There's something there.
I don't think they're putting that
They
much.
give enough of a shit. They're just
they're
brainwash him and get him out of here.
And they wanted him in one place and her in another. It's just easier if they never meet.
It's really weird that despite having this massive labor shortage, that Tom wasn't able to find a job really easily, and that 7 of 9 could just fire somebody. Because Tom said that the efficiency coordinator or whatever fired him. It's like they're in a labor shortage.
But
like, you can't just fire people
that bad. He
said
could actually be a detriment.
He said he wasn't efficient enough, and it's like there's no way he was so bad.
He was caught jerking off or something.
He was there for. He said he was there for a day, half a day,
give or take an hour.
I mean, listen. Here's the thing: you try getting a job at a power plant and jerking off in the middle of the room to see how long it takes to get fired. I guarantee you it'll be within the hour.
I will say, I once had a coworker who
I don't know where this is going.
Got laid off, who should have been shit-canned, but whatever. And honestly, even with us down a team member, we were so much better off because we weren't fixing their mistakes all the time.
So how much did he jerk off in the office?
Did anyone watch the TV show Better Off Ted?
Yeah.
No. That's the same guy. Jay Harrington was the nice doctor.
Oh,
Rabbit.
was he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I liked Better Off Ted.
Yeah, no, he was good in it.
I didn't even make that connection because the other doctor was kind of a blip.
Yeah. Yeah, he was only there for like 3 scenes. Really.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, something's going on. No, it's not. Oh, yeah,
I did appreciate that, like, they did a show, not tell, where instead of showing him stand up to the doctor, they just had him on a table getting brainwashed.
Yep, and you knew what went on there.
Clearly he wasn't into what was going on.
I mean, I feel like even if he claimed he was,
they probably would.
The evil doctor wasn't going to trust him.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, he was just like, no matter what he says, we are wiping him.
I'm not splitting my findings with you. We should always be using these subdermal transponders.
Yeah.
You and your logic.
Yeah, the subdermal transponder just seems like a good thing.
Yeah, you'd think.
I mean, sure, they dug it out of Chakotay's arm and threw it across the room, but still, he had it for a while.
We chip dogs. Why doesn't Starfleet chip their ensigns?
Harry Kim would stop getting away.
So they put like
Trick
a little
question.
like ensigns. They just put like a little tracker on their ears, like a little tag, like animals.
Like you do to like a leopard seal, or
Gotta snip off the tip of the ear, let you know they've been
fixed.
Yeah, I thought when we were on planet and Neelix is, chatting up Tom, doing a really good job blending in. Like, good work, Neelix. Chakotay comes down and whiffs hard.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everyone, we're all humans, right?
Hey, other kids.
Yeah, he did a much better job when he had to infiltrate that Species 8472 Starfleet Academy.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The kidnapping scene with B'Elanna is just genuinely upsetting.
It was. I didn't like it. It was a yikes moment.
It really was. And it's like, the writers have this trend, and I have no idea why, of like Chakotay's just awful to B'Elanna most of the time. Like, there's a lot of moments where, like, it feels like they don't interact as much as you'd think they would, because they're both McKee, but, like, most of the time they have these big interactions. It was, like, there's the episode where he drags her through her trauma.
Yeah.
Being like, don't look away, look at your dead friends.
Well, they're his dead friends, too.
Yeah, I
Look
know.
at my dead friends.
I know.
Why do you keep killing my dead friends?
But he still shouldn't have done that.
No.
Like,
But that's because the 90s didn't understand how therapy works.
Yeah.
Basically, I think the writers, once they decided they didn't want to try to have those two fuck, didn't know what to do with their friendship.
They didn't really know what to do with a lot of character pairings, so they
No,
just
that's
never
true.
did it.
Yeah.
Which... is
Yeah, every
a
so often when
shame.
you're like, oh, right. 7 of 9 and Tuvok are always great together.
Yeah.
Why don't you always do this?
Here's the thing, though. Speaking of 7 of 9 and Tuvok together,
Do it.
yet another time when Tuvok gets kidnapped by aliens and spends most of the episode infirmed.
Like in Sukanse?
Like in Sukanse.
Also, like, I mean, I get why, but he's always the one who, like, the brain...
Vulcan
The
superpower!
brain doesn't work, the brain
Yeah.
control doesn't quite work.
I imagine somewhere else Vorik also figured it out,
Oh, yeah.
but it was just fine with it.
They left him behind too. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I also wondered if... So, Chakotay and Kim and Neelix do their save the day thing. ECH is present. I betcha with the way Seven and Tuvok were kind of already figuring it out, they would have gotten there on their own. It just would have taken a little more time.
Well, they actually, I think they even said that multiple people were complaining of
The memories?
of
or
memory issues.
not
I
wanting to
believe.
get the needle in the neck?
there was like that big list, and it was like all of these people have said have like complained of some issues.
Oh, interesting. And they all visited you, Doctor, on the same day.
Yeah. So it seems like there's just problems with how the memory
it's
stuff
not a great...
works.
They just have to keep... But it sounds like they just reapply it and it works. But for Tuvok, it sounds like he was a tough nut to crack.
This also might have been one of their larger single hauls.
I mean, it must have been. They did not try to obfuscate the fact that all of these people were connected in any way. All of their employee numbers were literally sequential.
Yeah.
It was like employee 1, 2, 3, 4 through like 300.
This
like
conspiracy
100.
was going to get found out sooner or later.
Right.
It was not well orchestrated.
They got greedy. You know?
Mhm.
If they had just picked off a couple of people, or like, even better, like, having... I know it was like the plant manager who was kind of the ringleader, but call up some other plant managers in other cities and like
spread it around.
Spread them out, because having all 130 fucking humans all working
Start
in
the same day.
Even better, send them to work for people who don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So that, and then just be like, hey, this person is prone to dysphoria syndrome. If they start having issues, of these particular kinds, it's like, give them this shot and they'll be okay, or send them back to me. And then it's like, you don't even need people in the know for that.
Well, yeah, but there's a labor shortage. They're not going to give workers a way to...
Well, here's what it could be. It could be
Exchange.
a recruitment. Instead of the power plant, it could have been like a recruitment agency. Like, we find off-world employees.
Yeah.
professional staffing group from space.
That would have been a better business for the Doctor to get into.
I feel like if they made this episode now, it would definitely sort of a power plant be a shipping warehouse. And a not at all subtle Amazon stand-in.
Yeah. No one wants to work anymore.
I was really surprised that, like, they do appear to treat their workers extremely well. Like, you would think if you were brainwashing people into liking their job, that, like, you'd have them live in a closet.
Yeah, did you see
like,
that fucking apartment?
A huge apartment.
Beautiful apartment.
Like,
The rent on that would be astronomical.
but there is company housing, though.
No, I know. That's what I mean. If it
Yeah.
was real,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
rent
yeah.
would be insane.
It's all grift.
It's all
like-
provided by the company.
Grift.
like when that guy says, "Oh, we try to treat our employees well," like, I guess he meant it.
I mean, I guess, though, that, like, in a labor shortage, if you really need the workers, that would be one way to do it, is to have, like, compete on benefits. Like,
But I mean,
you get to live in this awesome fucking house.
We have lived through multiple labor shortages, kind of in one still,
Well-
and employees aren't treating
That's
treating
because
their
we live on Earth, and Earth
employers
sucks.
are not treating their employees better.
And
This planet is
anything-
clearly better.
like,
And the minute
they're
anyone
just waiting for people to get desperate.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do in capitalism.
Yeah,
Whatever
that's
they are,
that's
they're not
That's what I'm saying.
capitalists.
Is like, that's what these guys would be doing, because we see that they do not just treat their employees better.
Maybe
better planet than ours.
Maybe they had a revolution more recently than this planet.
Maybe that's why there's a labor shortage.
I think there's people who probably would have stayed. Was sick of Voyager.
Yeah.
So leaving. I
Yeah.
want to boop some computers in a power plant.
Should have taken my chances back on 37's planet with Amelia Earhart. Here's my
Right?
chance!
Right?
The work did seem boring. There was a good scene where somebody, was it Chakotay? I don't know. Somebody was trying to convince Janeway that she could that like her talents are wasted booping buttons in a
Oh
factory.
yeah, it was Chakotay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so definitely part of that brain thing is to make them think that their jobs are a lot better than they are.
See, I'm almost wondering if, like, what if that wasn't quite the case? Like, is it ever outright stated that they're reprogrammed to love their job?
I mean, at the very
Like-
least, they're reprogrammed to believe that where they came from sucked.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, Janeway seemed like, it's like she was given, like, it was just obviously booping buttons, but, like, they said that, like, oh, you know a lot about thermodynamics and, like, all this stuff. And,
You'll
like,
boop the button
and-
so good.
Yeah, and she was like, no, I like my work. It's challenging, but, like, not too high stress. Like, you know, so, like, I feel like at least it played really genuine. And, like, I almost wonder, like, I think there's a version of this script where at the very end, like, Janeway, Chakotay says, are you upset that I came and got you, you know, brought you back? And she says, no, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Like, I think there's a version of this script where she actually very much wishes she didn't have the responsibility anymore. I think when her character is saying stuff like, why would I want to be a captain? Like, I think she means it. And, like, I think that would have been interesting to explore the fact that, like, she doesn't want to be captain. She doesn't want this job. She doesn't want the responsibility. But she's still doing it and she's good at it. But, like, deep down, like, she would rather be anywhere else. And I think that would have
rewriting
been...
shows again, Rossi.
Yes, because someone fucking has to. Damn it.
here's
Someone
the- I
needs
think
to
that's
write...
Chakotay's backstory.
Yeah.
Because he sure as shit doesn't want to be doing this. He wants to
That's
be making
true.
tubs.
I think maybe it's not necessarily that Janeway doesn't want these things so much as just for once her brain is so thrilled to not be in like constant tension fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Because I get a feel like Lost in the Delta Quadrant, even a calm day, there's a party that's just fucking high strung.
Everyone on that ship is going to need a lot of therapy when they get home.
And
they're not gonna get any.
therapy.
No,
Ironically, they're just going to wipe their brains and send them to work in factories, so...
They're all going to be sat down with Ezri Dax and Deanna Troy and come out worse.
Ezri did a better job than Troy, I think.
I mean, speaking again of Hermes Conrad low bars.
Fair.
Well, but also, like, the one time we saw her do real therapy stuff, she made it all about her.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
She's like, yeah, maybe your claustrophobia, and maybe my problem is, and he's like, aren't we talking about me?
She did help him with the claustrophobia, though. Sort of.
Did she in the long run?
She's the worst. God damn, I hate her. Don't hate her. I just don't like her.
Do we have a segue?
Well, we did see
There we go.
some Miri kids. We saw one of the Miri kids this week, grown up, looking great, Iona Morris. And I know last week you talked about various kids in Star Trek, so let's finish that conversation with any of the kids in newer Star Trek. And I'm pretty sure this whole conversation is just going to fall into a we want Prodigy, guys. We need more Prodigy. Make it happen.
I mean, just going over with newer stuff. The only kid I can think of from the Kelvin timeline was baby James Kirk, who I hate and was terrible. So
Stole his dad's car.
that's the
drove
Kelvin
it off
timeline dealt
Or did
with.
you mean newborn James Kirk?
Oh no,
No,
I mean
little Kirk.
still stole a car, James Kirk.
There was also baby Spock, who was also a pill.
Oh,
That's
yeah, and
nice.
actually a bunch of little assholes who are making fun of him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those felt very in line for
Yeah,
Vulcans.
we've already seen Baby Spock. Like,
Your
Baby
mom's a
Spock
dumb
was
hoe.
basically the same Baby Spock from
TAS.
TAS.
I mean, I think Discovery had some flashbacks to like Little Michael, but nothing that
Oh, yeah,
made
there were.
an impression.
And little Spock.
Oh yeah.
But no little Cybok.
Yet.
He was away at summer camp.
But I thought the show was over. No, they
There's
getting one
still,
more
there's
season?
still another season. Supposedly. Maybe they'll cancel that. Well, they've already canceled that. Maybe they'll remove it from the Paramount stocks, too.
But yeah, even if we look at Prodigy, like, of them, just going by our rules from last week, there's only one actual child actor among the group.
Rock.
Yeah.
And she is terrific.
She's the
Yeah.
best.
Like,
I think she's just the number one, probably on everyone's list.
oh yeah, no, she's great. But like, again, like voice acting is hard.
Yeah.
Like, there are like very well respected like actors who cannot make the transition to voice acting. So to have a child that good at it is just,
Yeah.
Now, does she do any live acting, too, or no?
I have no idea.
Tangentially related with the child actors and stuff. The show Hey Arnold had a whole bunch of kids like on the cast.
A lot of them were real kids?
Yes.
Holy
In
shit.
fact, I think all of them were real kids. The kid who played Harold, The
Gerald?
the mean kid.
Yeah,
Oh,
Harold.
He was like maybe 16. Everyone else was younger. Helga Pataki was, I think, fucking 12.
Holy
Oh, wow.
shit.
Which is outrageous
She was
because,
amazing.
like, yeah, her work is, like, ridiculously good.
That show,
What a gem that show is.
it was
honestly.
good as a kid, and it's better as an adult, because you're like,
Yeah.
wow!
It's really
There was a lot I did not pick up on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is that The Fall of Saigon? Yes, it is. Holy shit.
I didn't watch this show.
It's so
it's
good.
It's good.
It's on Paramount Plus, check it out.
For
I saw
now.
a couple episodes on Nickelodeon. I think it was on.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in my rotation.
Oh, I loved it.
But yeah, the rest of the Prodigy
Yeah.
kid, like, most of the kid characters are, I mean, they're all relatively young, I think. I think they're almost, well, except Jacob's actor, I can't.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, he's like, I think,
Yeah, he's in his
okay.
40s.
the rest of them are like
But
early
also,
20s.
I don't
and
think
older.
Jacob Pog is also not a kid. He's just, he's an adult.
He's a teen.
No,
He's the equivalent of a teen.
I think he's an
Well,
adult.
his
We've discussed
species
this.
lives for 5,000 years, so you're a teenager for the
That's
first.
true. He was also in
He's like a
Cloud.
hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a baby Yoda.
There we go. But yeah, the rest of them I think are like late teens, early 20s by and large.
Well, Zero, I think, is Although Zero's weird because Zero was part of a hive mind and then got split off. So.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about the voice
Oh,
actors.
ha ha ha.
But
Sorry.
I also think they do imply that Zero is young,
Yeah.
Right.
comparatively.
But,
whatever
again,
that means.
Young in Medusan terms, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a baby Yoda, and something bad happens.
Yeah, there's not a lot of new Trek kids outside of that.
There's the one we torture a whole lot in Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, well, there's also the daughter in Strange New
Oh
Worlds.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Rukia.
Yeah.
I
She's-
like her
she's
well
good.
enough. I feel like I said it when we talked about the season, but like I feel like I was still like they just ended that plot way sooner than I expected them to. So I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? I thought we were gonna be like kind of living with this for a while, but no, okay.
Yeah. I
So
thought I thought the ending was fine. It was just the postscript of that,
Well,
of
for
that
me, it
episode,
just
where she then comes back and is like, "I've lived 50 years in the last 5 seconds, and everything's great. Goodbye, Dad."
Yeah, I have a feeling we will probably see more of that character
maybe.
in some respect.
Yeah, but I think she should have just gone off, and it's like you're uncertain.
Yeah, but
that's what happens.
They wanted to be very like they're like, look, we know we've kind of fucked up here and there. We're gonna give you an unambiguously, relatively speaking, happy ending for this character.
Yeah.
We just tortured a little boy
Yeah, that's
for the rest of his life. This one's gonna be okay.
We are not gonna let the internet speculate.
Yeah, unlike the ones who walk away from space Omelas.
What?
That's
That's the torture of the boy.
the torture.
episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the ones who walk away from Omelas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not prepare for this conversation today, so I'm way behind.
I mean, again, I thought about
Usually
it.
I prepare, and,
And again, aside from
the kid in Picard season 2.
Oh
He
yeah.
was-
oh god, I hated him.
Mariposa.
the worst.
he was fine. He was just a kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I hated him. I mean, he did a great job playing a
Yeah.
kid, but I don't like children, so he was a very convincing child.
He didn't have to be there.
Not at all. That whole
Didn't-
season needed to be there, but yes,
Yeah.
he especially.
I did I liked the end. I liked the conclusion. That's how I felt about Picard season 2. I slogged through the shit so that I could get to that last moment, and it was worth it.
The last moment meaning the credits.
Yes.
I too was happy when the credits finally rolled.
That, oh my god, that might be the worst.
Worse than TAS?
No, god, no, nothing's worse than TAS, but I have to think about it, but that may be the worst season of live action Star Trek. Just full stop.
Good qualifier.
I hate that
I'm
too.
glad that you qualified live action,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
TAS
No,
is
TAS
awful.
is still worse.
But it absolutely is. It's not even. There's not even a question in my mind. There's nothing
I mean,
worse than that.
if
Then
nothing
wait,
else,
Which, Jake? Which?
Picard season 2.
Season 2? Worse than TAS.
Yes, it is worse than TAS.
I would say what Picard season 2 has over TAS, if nothing else, is production value.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly. I think if you were to take the scripts from TAS and the scripts from Picard season 2 and just compare them as writing,
If they
TAS would win.
if you could take some of those scripts and actually make them well, I will admit you'd have decent episodes.
Of
Yes.
TAS?
Yeah. Like, not a ton of them. There's
No,
no version
yeah,
of Ben
definitely not
that is
all.
good. There is
The
no
counter
version of...
clock is bad.
Yes.
There's a lot of bad ideas.
But the problem with TAS wasn't just that, like, the episodes were bad. It was that there was all this, like, potential for them to do whatever the fuck they wanted.
And then they
didn't have to have any, like, any limits, because it was all going to be art. They didn't have to worry about makeup budgets. And they fucking gave us BEM.
I'm also going to... I think there's a qualifier here. And I know
kids this episode, but that's fine.
I know it's not. I know you're not
this is a
supposed to
BEM
like
podcast
do it.
give things extra credit for like the time and place, but like TAS was a low budget television cartoon show made in the early 70s
by like Hanna-Barbera, right? Wasn't it?
Not even.
by
Filmation.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
The bad of the bad.
American television animation in the 70s was 98% garbage. That is true.
So like the expectation for TAS was low. The thing I think that makes Picard worse is that you had the production budgets available to a 2023 or 2020 or whenever it first came. I don't remember when it came out, but you know, to a modern day high budget streaming platform. You had Patrick fucking Stewart, you had John Delancey, you had Jerry Ryan, you have the other cast members who I'm sure are great, Alison Pill. You have, like, really fucking talented people. You have all the money in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You have the special effects capabilities that are available today. And you fucking whiffed it so hard.
Not even
so
whiffed.
hard.
Like, they came and they took a dump on it.
They took a big fucking dump on it.
Like, a whiff is like, okay, you made a mistake. No, this is you actively made everything bad.
No, you know, they didn't even... It's not... You know what it is? Because they didn't even whiff it. What they do is they took a huge dump, put that dump on a T-ball stand, and then did not miss hitting the shit with the baseball bat, and it got everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, they did make sure to wrap in Operation Earth into the main continuity.
Oh, God.
So, I mean...
Assignment Earth.
Excuse me.
Which I know
How
is
dare
something
you.
all of us
Excuse me.
really wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we badly needed
It was
cannot-
so... I mean,
Does this mean that this was the pilot series that was born from Assignment Earth?
Oh my god, you're right.
Well,
And it was just as
all right,
bad.
So you wanna hear my new tinfoil?
Sure.
Gave it to us.
Is that Discovery and Strange New Worlds are not in the same continuity as the rest of Star Trek.
Oh, people have
They are
been saying that for a while.
They are spin-offs from The Cage. They are the pickups. They are series picked up from The Cage.
Oh, then how is Lower Decks gonna cross over
It's
with
a
them?
That's how.
Which one of them is the mirror universe?
It's bizarre. Also, Lower Decks could also be in that universe because it's.
No, they've referenced so many fucking things though.
Yeah.
Look, we're going...
Everything is a reference on
We're
that show.
going into the Pikeverse next season. We're going to see all sorts of different Captain Pikes. They're going to use CG to bring back fucking... What's his name? The original Pike.
Jeffrey Hunter.
Hunter, yes. I was going to say Jeffrey Archer. I knew that was wrong. Jeffrey Hunter. This is what happens when there just aren't a lot of children in New Trek. We can talk about whatever.
We tried to plan how to structure these two blog activities, and we thought we had the answer, and we didn't. So it's fine.
Yeah.
It'll make more sense on the blog. Make sure you're following the blog.
Yes. And this was a fine ramble.
Blog.
And again, it mostly just ties back to we really hope Discovery Prodigy finds a proper home somewhere.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it was a damn good show.
And I was looking I just re-listened in
Morning.
Morning is the best way to put it. To our episode where we covered season 1 of Prodigy, and we ended saying, like, we're looking so forward to season 2. They left it in a place where so many interesting things could happen.
Well, I mean, how many times over the past few months have we said, wow, they could totally follow up on this random Voyager thread in Prodigy someday? Womp womp.
Blog is a portmanteau of web and log.
Is it our fault? Like the mooch?
The mooch wasn't our fault. That was
we were just prescient.
Well, I was gonna say
we never
we manifested it, not that it was a fault.
Yeah, we never forecast this.
We
Like,
were
we would
not
never.
to blame for
we
the
would
mooch.
never.
Yeah, that sucks.
Was that what it is? They heard our excitement and were like, these 4 people have made so much fun of our work over the years. We're going to ruin their day.
I'm assuming it had literally nothing to do with, like, reviews or online sentiment. And just with, like, it wasn't as viewed as much as we wanted it to be.
Well, I don't know that it was hit the target demographic that they wanted. I think, because, like, notice that it wasn't like Star Trek Prodigy, it was Nickelodeon Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was the intent. So from that, you know that it was going for a different crowd, and I just don't know how many kids. Like when we were kids, we would just turn on the TV, turn it to Nickelodeon or Disney Channel or whatever, and just start watching, and then you would see shit like Hey Arnold or Doug or whatever. And I don't think that that's not how kids consume media these days. They don't just turn on the TV.
No, they ask you for your iPhone.
Yeah, and they're certainly like turning on the TV, opening up Paramount Plus, going through the fucking menus, finding Star Trek Prodigy. Like kids were only watching Prodigy if their parents showed it to them.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I don't know what kids are using these days, but I will just say, as a grown-ass adult, I can barely tolerate how bad the Paramount Plus app is on our television.
Yeah, it's bad.
A child would not bother. They'd be like, fuck it, I'm going to YouTube.
No, here's the thing, though. Children are way better at that type of shit than we are.
Oh, no, but it's not that it's not comprehensible. It's sluggish as fuck.
Oh, it's that.
It takes forever to do anything.
Yeah, and people don't have patience.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I see.
Yeah, they wouldn't have the patience for it because it's so slow to scroll through anything.
But on the plus side, it is now more expensive. So
I know.
that we can get
God.
access to Showtime. A thing I would have paid for had I wanted it in the first place.
When I heard they were merging with Showtime, I was like, wait, Showtime's still a thing? Like, Jesus.
They have Yellow
great
Jackets
shows, too.
Oh, that's where that's from?
Yeah,
I knew I'd heard of it,
Yellow
but I had no
Jackets on
idea.
Showtime, so.
I didn't know who owned it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be pretty good.
I'm sure it's great. I'm never going to watch it out of spite
It's
now.
just, I don't want to pay more.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
We already have so many of these fucking streaming
I feel like
services.
the next 2 to 3 years, I think, is going to be really interesting for streaming because things are going to change. Either there's going to be consolidation.
Yeah, what's going to happen after this writer's strike, too?
Yeah. I think that a lot of businesses, Paramount, HBO, all these businesses just dumped buckets of money, truckloads of money into starting their own streaming platform, and now they're realizing that once you've reached the saturation point of people that
there's not going to be more.
Exactly. It's like
they're going to trickle in slowly for the rest of time.
Right, because all the people that wanted
to wait for
Paramount
more people to
Plus
be born
to watch Star Trek have bought it by now.
Yeah.
They're not going to get new subscribers for Star Trek at this point. So
No.
And the thing is, they're not going to lose subscribers either. That's the thing. They can cancel. I think the calculus was, all right, Star Trek shows are expensive. What is the Star Trek show that we can cancel that we won't lose subscribers over? And it's going to be Prodigy.
They already canceled Discovery, so
Yeah, Discovery and Picard are done.
yep, those are done.
So
Strange New Worlds is already airing season 2.
Well, I think Strange New Worlds is going to be the flagship Star Trek show for now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That seems to be where they're putting their effort.
But they've only got 5 more seasons after this, in a way.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
they follow.
Yeah,
if
they
follow.
Why would they follow that format?
If they follow, no.
That's an old format.
If they follow
the
their own
5-year
projected,
mission.
their own projected timeline.
Because he's supposed to die.
That's right.
Or
There
he's
is
gotta
an
be-
end at some point. to
Well, see,
Strange
that's
New Worlds.
why they've already set up a new Kirk so they can just slowly turn into TOS the remake.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I could see some potential here. So we know we're assuming they're still going to launch their Starfleet Academy show, which nobody really wants.
No one asked for it, yeah.
That's going to be like CW style teen drama.
Isn't it also going to be in the right after the Discovery?
Yeah.
That's the assumption.
Era?
I think it's a Discovery spinoff. It's going to have Tilly and
No.
that's my guess. I don't know.
You don't like Tilly?
No.
I don't care for
I
Tilly
don't like
either.
Tilly at all.
Oh, I love Tilly.
No.
Do you like Dadmiral? He might be there.
Like Sonia
Dad.
Gomez.
I've only seen 3 episodes, and Tilly was the worst part of it.
Oh, no,
She
gets
gets
better.
much better.
Way better. I didn't like her first either.
I watched season 3.
No.
Oh,
She
then
was
you're not into her.
Oh, yeah, then
Yeah,
Like,
some
you're
people
already
are not
dug in.
Tilly people. I'm not a Tilly person.
Yeah, I mean,
I find
it's okay.
I find,
It's okay if you like her. I'm
I
not
find
gonna
Tilly
judge.
kind of annoying. But anyway, so that's what I think it's going to be. And I just don't think it's going to be what people want. They're talking about they want to do this Section 31 TV movie, which fine, whatever.
At
TV
At least
movie.
it's just a movie
Yeah.
now instead of a
Yeah.
series.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it's a one and done. We get to see
Hopefully.
some Giorgio.
And that's literally only happening because
everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, like basically people finally noticed her.
Oh, she's great.
She is. Don't worry, I have nothing against. I can't think of her real name.
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh is an actress, but it's like that is literally the only because it had been in limbo for so long, and then suddenly people care about her more than just nerds.
Yeah.
I suspect Lower Decks will get another couple seasons. They'll
milk the same joke.
Because it's pretty cheap, I'm sure, compared to the premiere show. And then I think the only shot that they have without, doing something creative,
What?
They'll never do that, is to go with the Picard spinoff. I just think that's inevitable.
I might.
Yeah.
That might. If they actually greenlight that show, I might cancel Paramount Plus out of spite and just pirate from here on out.
I mean, like, if they just treated it as, like, here's a whole bunch of miniseries following pre-established characters and what they're doing now. Like,
I want
No,
something
I
new.
think it's going to be
Like,
the
it would at
Jack
least not
Crusher
be-
story.
oh, that's not what
I
I want.
really don't care about
That's
Jack
not
Crusher.
at all.
No, it's going to be Captain 7 of 9 and Jack Crusher go on
Captain
adventures.
7 of 9.
Yeah, I like 7.
But First Officer Raffi.
You don't have to be dating your co-crewmate. She could
Well,
just be on board
Yeah,
for
but
funsies.
I just don't want Raffi.
I don't mind
Yeah.
Raffi.
I don't care for
but
that actress.
I
I
don't like
don't-
her.
I think you're right. I
They
don't
have
know.
Her backstory
They
is
ran
stupid.
out of things to do with her, and it's sad.
So I haven't seen season 3 yet of Picard.
Well,
In season
and
in
that's-
season
it's not-
2,
it doesn't tell you
in
much.
season 2, the entire time you're just kind of like, I have absolutely no problem with Michelle Hurd. Like,
I just don't
the
get
acting
it.
is fine, whatever.
I disagree.
Like, and that's fine.
I think
But like,
I think
the
it's
whole
terrible.
time it's just like, why is she here? Like, but why is she like? Why
because
is
she must have
here?
like dirt on somebody at Paramount because like they fired every other actor.
Well, that's after season 2, though.
Yeah.
December
Yeah.
season 2.
Oh right, you're on season 2. Sorry.
I'm glad. Yeah. Well, I know that
Yeah.
happened. I know
somehow,
that like
somehow Michelle
like-
Hurd survived the
The
culling.
culling.
like I just like, why did they get rid of Rios for
Oh my
God's sake?
god, they culled everyone but the Herd.
Oh.
And on that note,
On that note.
that's bad enough.
So this has been Children in New Trek.
Yep. No, I do like a summing things up by just shooting the shit for a while.
and
That's
honestly,
fine.
it's our first recording since they announced the cancellation. We're all mad and had to get it out of our
I
system.
think we're on our best when we're just riffing. I
Yeah.
think we're entertaining. When we
Yeah. So the blog post this week will be entirely unrelated, but go
It'll-
check it out.
It'll just be about Rock and how fucking great Rock
kind
is.
of will
It's
be.
on Tumblr. It's literally just question marks.
It's just
There's no
it's just a
actual
bunch
words.
of screen caps of Rock, and
That's what
isn't
I'm
she
planning.
great
That's-
over and over?
You
There's
can-
more than one kind of science.
So you can check
Fucking
that
love
out
Rock.
over on the Tumblr. Just go to Tumblr, search for Star to Steer Her By, or go to sshbpodcast.com, or click the links or do the things. But we have more Voyager next week, guys. Holy shit, that's a thing they can't cancel on us, because it's already done. Speaking
Doesn't
of...
that mean that they already canceled it on us then?
Well, no,
Years
because
ago?
they
Holy fuck!
Made
Are we
it to
this
the
close
end.
to the end?
We are
What
this
do we
close to
have?
the
Like
end.
3-4 weeks left?
4 weeks left.
No.
We have
Oh my
4
God.
weeks left, and 2 of those are going to be Human Error and Q2. Give you one guess what that one's about.
No.
It's a good one. You'll hate it and then you'll love it. It'll be great. So that's next week. We'll do more things.
I don't want to talk about the mid-year financial reports. I hate you too.
Excellent. Perfect note to go out on. This has been Ames.
It's been Caitlin.
It's been Jake.
This has been Chris.
I'm James. Hi. Bye.
None of you are efficient enough. You're all fired.
Fair enough.
Thank God.
Ooh.
One of the original, I'll cut this, but one of the original shorts to feature Donald Duck was him showing up at a concert in a park. Like Mickey Mouse is leading this little fucking shitty band playing like William Tell music because it's, the 30s and entertainment didn't exist yet.
They're not shitty. They're fine.
Entertainment didn't exist yet.
So they're sitting there playing their music, and Donald Duck shows up to like sell ice creams or whatever, but he sees they're playing music, so he whips out a flute and he starts playing Turkey in the Straw, which caused the band is idiots and keeps losing track of what they're playing and starts playing Turkey in the Straw. And Mickey, he was like, what the fuck? Grabs his flute and snaps it. And just every
Bitch.
time Mickey destroys his flute, from various magical places, Donald just whips out a new flute and is like, nice try, bitch! And that's what that was. And that was beautiful.
Straight up
funny.
the cloaca.
I was thinking that, and I wasn't going to say it, so thank you, Ames.
Anytime. I'm always here for a cloaca joke.